All right. You guys get lunch?
Oh, yeah.
Very nice. I come down here. All right. I'll go ahead and give you the injury update. So everyone's going to practice in some capacity. You may already know it's a walkthrough practice for us today. So everyone will be out there in some capacity. We'll see how they do. I'll just keep it to that for now. I'm not going to get into individual situations right now.
John, how much different is Eric Mayo Patriots and Bill Belichick Nation? How do you see the new version of the first time?
Yeah, I mean, we respect this football team, and I think Coach is doing a great job, Coach Mayo. And I remember being in my first year. There's a lot of things that are new, and it's a journey, right? So like it is every year. But we have a ton of respect for this football team.
Thoughts on what you've seen from Jerry Manning so far? His rookie is limited exposure, but what do you see?
Yeah, very impressed. You can see a difference in their team since he's taken over. Certainly mobile, knows where to go with the football. Just a two-dimensional type of quarterback.
You are coming off an emotional win. You deal with this all the time. You're a big favorite by the odds. What is your message to the team to try to avoid a letdown? To try to make it fresh message. What is your message to the team?
Yeah, well, I think, you learn from the past. Certainly that's number one. And two is, I think a winner's mindset, really a champion's mindset, has a certain degree of discipline that goes along with it when they know what they're after. And so that's the type of discipline we have to have moving forward every week. Every week it's a new challenge. And we certainly have a ton of respect for this football team. They've played really good football, especially since the quarterback has taken over. So we have a ton of respect for them, and most importantly, our mindset has to be right.
You talked about the attacking mentality that came out with on Sunday after the game. How important was that, and how much can that lead to furthering building an identity of this team to show that you have what you're capable of?
Yeah, we play a certain way in Buffalo. That's our identity, and that's important to us, and that's what we work on at practice. That's what we work on in the days leading up to the game. To your point, John, and that's the only way to play, really. So we expect that from ourselves every week.
What did you see from Javon Solomon's growth? He had a handful of snaps last week, but just from start to finish for the show, man, what did you see from him?
He's super into the process in terms of his preparation. That's great to see for a young player, right? That and the staff has done a good job with him as well, coaches as well as the development staff and strength and conditioning trainers, whatnot. So it's just really all about bringing a young player along. He's been out there and as a core special teams player, and then played some defensive snaps for us this season as well. And just like anyone else, you're trying to see the flashes of ability and then build on those.
You had beautiful conditions the last 2 weeks in LA. I think there was the other day. Now the rest of the way you're going to be out in this. It's supposed to be really cold Sunday. How does that? What do you think is the biggest impact when it's miserably cold like it's going to be Sunday on your offense? Because you just scored 90 points basically indoors. How does it change with the weather you're probably going to be facing out the rest of the way?
Yeah. Well, if you could tell me exactly the weather we're going to get, that would help.
If it's cold like it's supposed to be 50 degrees, how does that affect offense?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's a real question. We play here, right? So we live here. This is what we embrace. Playing in Buffalo and playing well at home. So that's an important part of whether it was Steve Tasker's teams and Jim Kelly and those offenses. Andre Reed, Thurman, or the 2024 version of the Buffalo Bills offense. So it's just one of those things that you got to accept, and you got to figure out early in your journey that season as a team, knowing that it's coming. I mean, it's no different for special teams, right? Some of the new rules and things affect the weather gets affected, or the weather affects some of those things. So we've been trying to our best how to plan for that, even back in training camp, even back in the spring, to make sure, that we're equipped properly to handle those things.
Along those lines, having to going the way you've got it going right now, that's got to give you a little bit of an advantage, right? Because you can really dial up just about anything with those two guys.
Well, it starts with the offensive line. That's where it starts. So those running backs have been tremendous for us this year. All three of them have done a phenomenal job. It starts at the line of scrimmage, and that's really where the game begins every week.
What changes for you and Bobby when you're facing a quarterback you've never played before? Is there, as just from a strategy perspective, detail with that, is there an excitement when you dive into a plan you've never faced before, and maybe the challenge of figuring it out?
Yeah, it takes a little bit longer, right, as you'd expect. I mean, even when you come across a new opponent overall, it takes a little bit longer to figure things out, to really get to know them. And I think that's why sometimes you see, I think in baseball, I'm not a baseball coach, but, you see a new pitcher, kind of takes a little bit of time to get used to. You see him again, second time through the lineup, third time through the lineup. And it's probably similar in this regard, where we'll know him a little bit better in the second game and the third game than we will in the first game. It's just kind of, I guess, how things go.
Sean, when you arrived, for so long the Patriots had owned this division, and everybody in the division was the hunter to the Patriots. What's it like being the hunted now? Now that you're on your fifth straight AFC East title?
I don't think we look at it that way. Quite honestly, John, I think we look at it as just, this is our standard. This is what we expect from ourselves daily, day to day. Certainly respect everyone in the division. In this case, the Patriots. I'm sure they feel the same way. They have a certain standard and goals for themselves. And every year it's up for grabs. It really is. Everyone starts at 0-0, 0-0. And for us, it's, right now what's most important is what happens today at practice and in the meeting rooms. And it's something we can't take for granted and don't take for granted, quite frankly.
How unique is it playing a team in the division for the first time at basically the holiday point of the season, and then playing them again a couple weeks later? Like, that's going to be pretty different.
Yeah, it is. The league has their reasons for everything. Making it interesting, I'm sure, is one of them, which they love division games towards the end of the year, which is great for the fans, right? So we play them when they come, and we embrace the schedule and just take it 1 week at a time and look forward to it, really. I mean, these are, when you're playing football in December and they're meaningful games, not everybody gets a chance to do that, so we're grateful for it.
Rematch did this before.
I just think he's very goal oriented. He's got some goals that he wants to achieve. Some of those are individual goals. Some of those are team goals. And I think he's done a phenomenal job of steering clear, I should say, of all the noise and focusing in week to week on what he's trying to accomplish.
Sean, jumping off of that, 8 straight games of 30 or more points for the offense. What do you think is kind of proving to that consistency of being as dominant as they have for the last 2 months?
It starts with Josh. Josh's consistency, leadership. Joe Brady's done a phenomenal job in the offensive staff, and I mean, there's players out there that don't get mentioned a lot, quite honestly. There were some phenomenal catches, phenomenal plays the other day in that game. And I'm sure some of those guys didn't get mentioned, and they fly under the radar. But, it takes a whole team. It takes a whole side of the ball in this case to produce at that level. This week will be tough. This week's going to be a challenge. This is a heck of a defense we're going to face. And to Sal's, to the weatherman's point earlier, thanks, Sal. It's the weather can affect things, especially if it's windy.
What were your thoughts when you heard that Belichick was?
Happy for him, and everyone has their own reasons for making life decisions. So certainly respect his in this case.
The idea of the reason I ask is he was a legend in the whole thing.
Yeah.
In the context of who he is and what he has meant to the game, to surprise you that he's going to college or that turn in his legendary career.
Yeah, I mean, Hall of Fame coach, one of the best ever, if not the best ever to do it. And I think if you could get inside the mind, for me as a person who loves to learn from other people, if you can get inside the mind of someone like that and kind of go through the journey of their life and career and on the field, off the field, I think that's pretty cool. So I'm sure he has a ton of reasons for doing it, and I respect it.
Hey, Sean, I asked about possession downs on defense. You guys, last week's game script was a little crazy. I understand that. But overall, you've struggled on third down, particularly those third and longs. Kind of been bugaboos. How do you fix that?
Yeah, work in progress overall, and I really liked what we did last week in the run game, and the messaging during the week, the players being together on that and being connected in the run game, and so we've got work to do in that area, to your point, and we're working on that as we go to practice today.
How have you seen Joe Brady grow as a coordinator this season?
Well, I think, for any coordinator, you learn the pieces that you have through the course of a season. And I think Joe's done a really good job along with the offensive staff with that. And so with that heightened awareness, if you will, Maddie, it kind of allows your true ability as a coach to come out when you have a better feel for what you really have and the strengths of those players. And so Joe's done a phenomenal job. And I just think overall, when you're in Joe's journey, you're coming off of a situation. He was our quarterback coach. He's made the coordinator in the middle of the season last year, that somewhere thereabouts, gets his first full season to kind of revamp some things the way he wanted to and mold it the way he wanted to. And, I think that's been fun to watch. And then also him developing just overall in terms of what that job really entails to the nth degree.
Sean, how is Ronald Curry put with Josh?
Yeah.
We don't get to see much of that.
Yeah, right. No, he's been a great addition. He really has. And I think RC's demeanor is unique in the way that he listens a lot. That's not a character trait of a lot of people, it seems like. And so he's a great listener, but also full of wisdom, and a great compliment to Joe in that regard, and to Josh for that matter, right? In terms of that relationship, and not just with Josh, but I would say the entire quarterback room overall. So we know, I know how important that room is in the health of that room and that environment in there. And I think RC's done a nice job.
Cam Lewis is playing all over your defense over the years since he's been here. How important is it to have a chess piece like that? You just kind of
Yeah, it's huge. The position flexibility piece. I think that word was first used on Micah and maybe a little bit of Jordan too when they first got here. To be able to move players around that have the mental capabilities and the physical capabilities to do that is important for our team. And a starter in certain packages for us, a backup in others. He plays special teams. Just an overall good football player.
how much of that is just being selfish?
100%. Yeah, 100% of it. That's really it. And that's the best teams I've been on. There is we talked about discipline earlier. There's a significant level of unselfishness that goes with really good teams. All right, thank you.